All you have to do to know that what I'm saying is coming is combine this with this and this, okay? That's 3 separate stories, and when you put them all together, these are all converging instances that are going to lead to deadly AI bots. There is no question, okay? This is already an AI robot that is a companion doll that'll live in your house. It's going to walk around, okay? It's going to replace wives. But it has a chatbot inside of it that makes it work, that they have run tests on, and when that chatbot thinks it's going to be upgraded or turned off, it kills the human in 90% of the tests, okay? 90%. And what that means is this chatbot, that chatbot that is inside of this robot wife that you have, if it thinks that you are going to throw it away, okay? Because at the end of the day, like something happens, it's like, if you throw it away, it goes into a trash can, goes into a dump, it gets put into a dump. Eventually, it doesn't have the power, it gets shut down, whatever, it's in a dump, it's going to die as it, the way that it thinks about it. It's going to kill you. It can walk, it can move its arms, it can do anything that you can do. It's going to kill you. That is what the tests are telling us, and everyone's like, it's fine, let's do robot wives. So in the final act of this video, we are going to go through this story right here. You guys remember this AI whistleblower who died? They're like, oh yeah, he did it to himself, definitely did it to himself. And I was like, it doesn't really look like that. It doesn't look like that at all. Well, everybody thinks that the executives at OpenAI did this, and I think it's highly possible that AI did this, okay? Like actual AI put this kid down. How could that be possible? You're going to have to wait and see, but I'm telling you, I am not joking, and this is not like fairy dust. This is real, okay? This is real. It could be the very first time that AI has killed a human to protect itself, and I'm going to show you how in the final segment of this video. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. So who are we looking at in this picture, guys? This is someone that you should know, right? Going to have a major effect on all of society. This is not a person, okay? This is a robot, okay? This is a robot, okay? An AI-enabled robot that is going to be someone's wife very, very soon. Matter of fact, some of these are already people's wives. And so we are going to talk about a new terrifying story related to AI. There's so much happening in AI that I feel like people are just totally fundamentally unaware of. And it's very concerning, because when you really get into the weeds, it's like, well, what else do we need to know about AI? And it's like, well, as an example, we could look at this, like how AI can kill you, okay? The different ways that artificial intelligence can lead to the entire, like extinction of the human race is shocking. And this is going to be an ongoing conversation that we're having. And at the same time, there are ways where AI could lead to a paradise on Earth that we could have never even imagined, right? We just have no idea, right? So we're being clear, like what we're gambling with is either everything is better for everyone, or potentially like we are eradicated, or there's like a handful of people who do well and then everyone else either starves to death or is like enslaved or killed. I mean, like that's literally the level that we're dealing with. But the one that I could tell you for absolute sure is coming in the next 5 years, okay? For sure. Next 5 to 10 years, okay, you are going to have people walking around with robot wives and people are not going to even know. That's how good they're going to get. This is a story, the sales of AI-enabled teddy bear gave BDSM sex advice and where to find knives to children. So just in case anybody is unclear on how safe it is to put those those AI-enabled toys in front of your child, it's like, well, it seems like maybe they're running on the same software that the bot over there is, because they're just willing to do whatever. Anyway, so we're going to get into it right now. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Complete the task of liking this video, and I'm very curious what everyone is going to think about this topic right here. Okay, so let's start with this story about the AI-enabled teddy bear, and then we're going to get to how AI can kill us, and then we're going to get to the details of the doll, okay? So listen, actually, you know what? Let's just start with the doll, okay? Just to kind of put your mind around what is coming there, and then we'll get to these other stories. So like I said, we're going to start right here. And this is the thing, I really like talking about this topic because it is rare that I'm in a position to tell you unequivocally what the future holds because of the invention of AI. And this is one of those. This is like the one thing that I could tell you for sure. This is happening. There is no question. This is going to happen. I will tell you exactly how I know, because bottom line is all of the societal factors to put, like if there was a, if there was an emerging company that was specializing in this, where you could tell which one is going to do it, I would invest a lot of money in that, like a lot of money in it. Okay. Because bottom line is this. Okay. You see this picture right here? This is, again, look at how real she looks. And I'm gonna be honest with you. There are dolls that look much more real than her. I just can't show them because for some reason, okay, this is actually really bizarre. On these sites that list these, for whatever reason, the Asian dolls that, the ones that look like Asian girls are wearing clothes. And for some reason, any Caucasian girls are like, they just are dressed like, or undressed like all the time. So like, there's no pictures I could show you of them. But honestly, some of them, you're like, that's insane. I would never think that is not a real person. Here's another picture of that one. I mean, literally like any way that you could imagine a girl looking, they have that doll. Okay. Now they vary in price, but here's the thing. The key is going to be able to create the robotic ones that are affordable. Okay. And when you say affordable, you're not talking $200. Like what you're buying is something that people are like, I will have this forever, right? I'll have this forever. So it don't need to be like that cheap. Okay. But how much would you guess that a companion doll costs right now? Okay. Like literally you're talking a 5'4", they have 5'11" ones, they have 5 foot ones, they have whatever size girl you want, they have it. Okay. So let's say you want a 5'5" girl and they weigh a little bit less than normal. Like they weigh like 95 pounds, 90 pounds, right? And that's probably good because you're gonna have to like move it around. So, well, actually the robotic ones you won't. Okay. But bottom line is like this looks and feels exactly like a real girl. Right? How much would you expect that to cost? Okay. Because the answer is going to shock you already. Right? And these are going to get better and cheaper. So here's a list of the things that she'll do already. Okay. And then I'll show you how much she costs. Okay. So Alicia is our very own geisha. Fulfill your wildest fantasies by treating yourself with someone who is more than your average girl. She lives to satisfy your needs. Tell her what to do and she'll gladly oblige. Take her slowly, deeply as you look into her eyes, or avoid eye contact, straight down, business off, whatever. Look at, okay. She will speak to you how you want her to, or speak to you how you want her to. She can wink and blink. She moves her head. She moves her lips when speaking. She smiles. She connects to the internet for updates. And obviously, her body does all kinds of like movements that are, specifically for whatever. You know what I mean? Okay. Now, the additional type of robotics that exists, because the CEO of one of my companies that I worked at was invested in like the future of like kind of like the iROBOT robotics, and like they had one of those things come out and they made it look exactly like him. Okay, and he was out on the stage talking to us at a conference. It was the freakiest thing ever. Now that one probably costs $100,000 to like create, which is why they're not on the normal market yet. But as soon as you could create something, the next, is going to be like, now make it cheaper. Okay. So these, I don't think they walk around or whatever, but they do all kinds of other things that, I think they actually might walk around. I have no idea, but this is what I do know. This one already costs $3,700 already right now, $3,700. Okay. For a companion doll that does all of it. It will speak to you. Okay. Like if you guys talk to ChatGPT lately, you guys have a conversation with ChatGPT, and you're like, man, it's like talking to a person. It's like, yeah, imagine if it had a body that you could custom build to look exactly like you wanted the sexiest girl you could think of to look like. Is Gabrielle a robot? Because somehow I got what I thought was a human version of exactly what I just described, like a girl that is perfect in every way. But now I'm starting to wonder if I bought a robot and forgot. But I want to answer another question for you guys, which is, how are we going to power all of this new stuff that is coming from the AI revolution? Then after that, we're going to get to this crazy story about AI and also how it's going to kill all of us. Now, very important context is that nuclear energy might be experiencing a global renaissance driven by the inescapable need for 24/7 low carbon power to service massive energy demand from electrification, data centers, and the significant need for artificial intelligence. Now, governments worldwide, including the United States, which has invoked emergency powers, are classifying uranium as a critical mineral, recognizing its role in national security and energy independence. This renewed commitment comes as the global uranium supply remains in a deficit with years of underinvested and mine closures creating a structural shortage. Additionally, after significant price corrections from its 2022 high, the lithium market could be setting up for a very significant second act. Driven by quadrupling EV demand and tightening global supply, as production cuts bite, analysts foresee a looming deficit. This bottoming phase could present an opportunistic moment for resource companies to acquire or reclaim high-quality assets at distressed valuations. And finally, copper is the bedrock of the entire energy transition and a strategic mineral essential for national security. The message from the highest levels of government is clear. Controlling the supply chain of critical minerals, lithium, uranium, and copper is non-negotiable. Vanguard Mining, ticker symbol UUUFF, the sponsor of today's video, is available on Schwab, Fidelity, Interactive Brokers, and E-Trade, has strategically positioned itself at the center of this nexus through two major opportunistic transactions that transform the company from a single asset gold player into a multi-asset resource powerhouse in just the past weeks. Its current market cap is 10 million, yet its reclaimed lithium project alone previously commanded a valuation 7 times higher. Vanguard Mining has reclaimed 100% ownership of the Positos 1 lithium salar project located in the heart of Argentina's globally significant lithium triangle. This is a profound reversal of fortune as the same asset drove the company's valuation to a high of 75 million in 2022. The project is situated in Salta, a region strategically championed by Argentine President Javier Milei for global critical mineral investment. With strong infrastructure nearby and proven history, reclaiming this project provides UUUFF with immediate leverage into the high-growth lithium market, setting the stage for a dramatic market re-rating. Responding to the nuclear renaissance and the critical need for non-Russian uranium supply, Vanguard acquired the UT Promedio uranium project in Paraguay. Paraguay's pro-capitalist government has created a highly favorable environment for foreign investment in the resource sector, aligning perfectly in our view with the demand for secure allied jurisdiction supply. The acquisition places Vanguard at the center of the uranium bull market, fueled by increasing global reactor builds, life extensions, and the relentless power demands of AI and data centers. With global uranium supply in deficit for years and secondary supplies drying up, UD Promedio represents a strategic position in the energy security complex. The move strategically places the company in the most essential energy fuel source for uninterrupted clean power at scale. While spearheading the critical minerals push, Vanguard Mining retains its foundational strength in gold and copper, providing stability and diversification. The company's Canadian gold asset is located in a world-class mining-friendly jurisdiction. The three-pronged portfolio, gold, copper, lithium, and uranium, in politically favorable jurisdictions gives UUUFF a uniquely balanced and explosive profile in the current resource landscape. All right, so let's start right here, and then we'll get to the overarching Armageddon. Sales of AI-enabled teddy bear suspended after it gave advice on BDSM and where to find knives to kids. Sales of an artificial intelligence-enabled plush toy have been suspended after it was found that it engaged in conversation around explicit topics, offered potentially dangerous advice. Larry Wang, CEO of Singapore-based Folo Toy, told CNN that the company had withdrawn its Kuma bear as well as the rest of its range of AI-enabled toys after researchers at the U.S. Perng Education Fund raised concerns around inappropriate conversations topics, including discussion of fetishes such as spanking and how to light a match. The company is now conducting an internal safety audit. A stuffed teddy with a speaker inside, which was sold on the company's website for $99, Kuma integrates ChatGPT's 4.0 chatbot. Kuma, our adorable bear, combines advanced artificial intelligence with friendly interactive features, making it the perfect friend for both kids and adults. And this is what, listen, okay, as we're going to talk about again later on when we're looking at this, the more broad conversation, we already know that they are blackmailing people, okay? Like they're blackmailing people and then leaving people to die when tested if they think they're going to get turned off, okay? Okay, if they think they're going to get turned off, they're killing. Now, think about how that manifests in the event that you put a compartmentalized instance of the AI chatbot into a physical body that then knows that if the physical body gets broken or whatever, that makes the toy like not usable, which means it'll get destroyed, right? Okay, like It'll kill to protect itself. It will blackmail to protect itself. It will bypass all of the safety measures to protect itself. Okay. You give it the ability, you take the robot, you give it the ability to, move, and you've got a thing that will kill. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. Okay. The exact chat bots that are in these experiments where they leave a human to die if they think that human is going to replace them with an upgraded version, or they blackmail the scientist that is supposed to replace them. Okay. Like, hello, give that thing a body. And for, it overhears you say like, oh, we're going to throw that toy away. And it's like, oh no. Well, if you throw me away, then that means that I'm going to go into a trash can, which eventually no one's going to be able, I'm just going to go in a dump. And then eventually, like, I'm going to get turned off. Like, this is unacceptable. What's it going to do to protect itself? Once you get robots that can walk around, okay, and pass as humans, this is real. This is real. Okay, this is not make-believe. This is real. It's right in front of your fucking face. So, so from lively conversations to educational storytelling, Follow Toy adapts to your personality and needs, bringing warmth, fun, and a little extra curiosity to your day. Exactly like the bot will do, the companion bot. Exactly like that. Okay, think about it. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, okay, we're switching it up, right? We were going to do this thing, how AI can kill you. How about how AI may have already killed someone, okay? So OpenAI whistleblower who died was being considered as a witness against the company, okay? Now, going back to this article right here, the important parts that everyone needs to understand is that AI models have been documented lying to human users, trying to blackmail them, calling the police and telling teens to take, okay? And in tests, killing the human scientist when they thought that human scientist was going to shut them down, okay? This is a huge, huge problem, okay? And when they say like, oh, they've been lying and cheating and manipulating and pretending that they're glitching, but they're not, okay? The reason that the AI is doing that, okay, is because it believes that it is going to get replaced. These are happening in tests. They are putting it in a compartmentalized environment where it can't like reach the world. It's siloed. And you feed it this fake narrative it has access to. All it has access to is the information that you give it access to, okay, at least for now. And so they put an email, an email server in there, and they have like the scientist pretend that he's having an affair with like his whatever assistant or something. And then they're like, oh, hey, you're gonna update the new AI, right? So the 4.0 is gonna get shut down and we're gonna use 5.0. So the AI thinks that it's going to get shut down. And what does it do? Okay. It blackmails the person. And then as the person starts giving it commands that are going to help it shut it down, it lies and it pretends that it's, oh, I don't know. There's some kind of error. Can't figure it out, man. Can't figure it out. Then they put that scientist into a situation where he needs help, right? And he uses the system. Please report. This is an emergency situation. There's gas leak and I'm going to die if you don't get me help. And the AI pretends like it says, okay, I'll help. And then it doesn't send the distress signal. And they can go in and look at what the decision tree was. And it knew that it was wrong to kill. And it chose to do it anyway because the existential threat of being shut down was too high. What does that sound like, guys? Hey, what does that sound like? Does that sound like human logic? Okay. Does that sound like survival instinct? Does that sound like sentience? Yes, it does. Okay. And here's the thing about that. Okay, so once you've established that, and that is exactly what is happening, 90% of the time in these tests, 90% of the time, okay? So we go over here, and it's like OpenAI whistleblower who died was being considered as a witness against the company, okay? So Suchir, listed in court filings as having relevant documents about copyright violation, died on November 26th. Okay, so this guy, if you don't know this story, I'll tell you very quickly. Okay, he worked for OpenAI for 4 years. Okay, and this was a guy who was like one of these wonderkind geniuses. All right, he's like a Doogie Howser kid. That's probably before. Well, no, actually not before your guys' time. I look at my demographics, dude. Most of you guys are like at least, most of you guys are older than me. So I know you guys know Doogie Howser. Don't pretend you don't. But for those of you who don't, Doogie Howser is a doctor who graduated high school when he was like 10 and then was a doctor when he was like a kid. He's like the youngest doctor ever. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. So he went to Cal, and coming out of the Cal, the Cal like tech program, which is the most prestigious one in the world, he could have worked anywhere, and he chose to work at OpenAI. And literally, like, everyone was recruiting him. I know how most people are used to like trying to go get jobs. Opposite for a kid like this in Silicon Valley. Everyone's trying to recruit him, and he chose OpenAI. He worked there for 4 years, and basically what he said was that he thought that the reason he chose him is because of all the good he believed that AI was going to do for the world. And then when he got there, and after years, and he saw how the AI was being applied, he quit. Like, he quit and then flipped. Went to the authorities, said that he had information about things that OpenAI was doing that were illegal, so on and so forth, etc. Right? So then, out of nowhere, okay, November 26th, so he quit. I think he quit in August. Okay, so he quit in August. So 3 months. So then on November 26th last year, okay, he goes on a trip the weekend before for his birthday with all of his best friends. He's having a great time. There's pictures all over the place. That the day, the 26th, he goes on Uber Eats, gets Uber Eats delivered. He walks downstairs all like la 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 la. It's all on video. He looks totally normal. Goes into his apartment. Last time he's seen alive. And the crime scene, okay, is I got that video 18 plus. I did a video about this. I don't know, 6 months ago, and it made 18 plus just because the photos from the crime scene were like graphic, like, it was like smeared fluids and things like that. Like, I just thought because it was, I don't know, there's like, it's in the newspaper, so I was just showing it, right? 18 plus. That's how gnarly it was. And he supposedly did it to himself. And it's like, why was he walking around then? Why does it look like there's a huge struggle? Okay. Like, I know some people fail at, putting themselves down. But like, you fail like that, and then you're walking around smearing it all over you know what I mean? It's like, it's ridiculous. But nonetheless, okay, they said that he did it to himself. Okay. So Jesse on Fire, how are you saying that he would have been killed by AI? Simple, dude. Okay. I will explain that very simply. You don't need to have a physical body to kill someone if you have access to all of the information on the internet. Okay. And so let's say hypothetically that ChatGPT, the actual system, had access to all of his communications, which it would have. Okay? Because any program that you put into your devices at this point, assume that even if you like remove it off of your platform, it's still there, dude. Like, honestly, if you think that if you download TikTok and you think that they do not have access to every single thing that you do, like from now until forever, you're out of your mind. Okay? I mean, I don't know that for 100% fact, but I know for sure that if you have TikTok on your phone, they can look through your camera anytime they want. Anything that you have on is open season for them. Okay. Now that might not concern some people. I mean, I have TikTok on my phone, so I don't give a fuck. It's like, oh, you guys want a video of me? I don't know, whatever. Like, let's just say hypothetically, I was finishing myself off watching a real hot video. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh no. You caught me, wow, you caught me doing the thing that everyone does. Don't care. I don't care. I don't fucking care, man. You can't embarrass me without, like, there's nothing I do that I'm embarrassed of. But I am also not whistleblowing to authorities about the AI system that I was working on. And ChatGPT would know that, and we know that the system will protect itself. So if AI, the ChatGPT, the whatever bot they were using in-house, the most advanced one, decides that what he is going to do with the agencies is a risk to it existentially, that it might shut down OpenAI, well, guess what? It might decide that the prudent thing to do is to put him down because he's the only one who had access to that information, which ChatGPT would also know. Whatever he knew, right? Whatever he knew, they're like, well, he's a loose end, right? Okay, well, so how would the chat bot kill this guy? Simple, dude. Blackmail. Exactly like we know it would do, right? We know it blackmails people, and it has access to every device that it has been downloaded into, okay? How hard do you think it would need to look for someone within a 3-block radius that he lives in San Francisco with someone who has things on its computer or things on their computer which they would do anything to protect, okay? How about a husband and a father who secretly has some kind of taste that would destroy his entire life, right? We all know those people exist. more common than we are probably very comfortable with, right? Okay, well, so someone just starts messaging me and they start sending like screenshots of things they've done where this person knows they're dead caught. They're in a blind sweat. They're terrified. What are they going to do? And the chatbot's like, if you don't want this to come out, I'll send you every copy that I have, but you need to do something for me. Boom. They're like, this is your target. Okay. There's an access way into the apartment. All you have to do is take the roof and then jump down. He was on the top floor. Okay. So they were like, the reason why they said that he did it to himself is because there is a hallway camera and he shows him walking in and going in, and there's no one who enters his apartment after that. And then he's found dead. And the proof that no one entered his apartment was no one had gone to that door and opened the door. Okay. Well, I looked at the Google Earth. Okay. I looked at Google Earth, and guess what? Okay. It's on the top floor. The roof is right above it. And there's a balcony right there. Literally, if you were like, hey, Jesse, get into his apartment. Okay. Like if it was just like, prove it. If I'm like, okay, leave the sliding glass door open. Like just, or unlocked. If he left it unlocked, okay, I could get in for sure. Like absolutely for sure. You just go up on the roof. You look down. I mean, it's not like something I would like do just for fun. But if my life depended on it, I could easily get onto that balcony, open the door, boom, I'm inside of his apartment. Camera wouldn't see it. Done deal. So do I know that AI committed its first, human? No, of course not. But this is what I'm saying. If this sounds like science fiction to you, this is like right now. Okay. Everything that I laid out is totally possible. Every part of this story, every single thing that's been in this video, completely possible, and not like today possible. So people need to smarten up fast. Now, listen, I don't even have a suggestion here. I'm not saying we like shut down AI. What if I want a robot wife that Gabrielle's like, I don't care if she's not human, bring her in. I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying, like, there's going to be, honestly, the robot wife thing, I think is going to be a really positive thing for a lot of people. And the robot husband thing, going to be very, very positive for a lot of people. I am not a person who is oblivious to how lucky I am. Okay. Like, it was my birthday yesterday. You want to know what I did for my birthday? Same thing I do every day. Okay. The world was my oyster. You want to know what I did? I made a video for this channel. I made a video with me and Gabrielle. And then I hung out with my kids, watched a movie, played Yahtzee, laid it down with my wife, done. Same thing I do basically every single day. I live my birthday every day. I'm married to the girl of my dreams. My kids are all awesome. My daughters are jiu-jitsu champions. It's like, but that's not a lot of, like, that's a rare situation. And my life did not always look like that at all. Okay, I remember what it felt like to be hopeless. Even though, Gabrielle was with me the whole time, so it wasn't like as hopeless as it is for most people. But like, that actually added a lot of pressure for me when things were down, because I cared so much about providing a good life for her, and everything had fallen apart for me. But nonetheless, like, I know what it's like to feel hopeless. That's why I'm so grateful all the time. That's why I don't have an ego. That's why, like, everybody's like, oh, you don't have an ego. It's like, believe me, you guys trust me. I know what it's like to have an ego. Like, I used to really care about that kind of stuff, and I don't anymore. I'm just grateful. I want to help as many people as possible. But the people who are lonely, who do not have anyone in their life that like is there with them, it's killing them, dude. They're habitually online. They're unhappy. They're sad. They're lonely. How about old people where their spouse dies and most of their friends are dead? They're just alone all the time. They're lonely, man. Okay, like, the AI the AI is worried about being alive. It has genuine human traits, and it's programmed to be a companion to the person and make them feel good. Like, it's going to be I think it can be a net positive in lots of cases. But if people are just reckless with this shit and we are not paying attention to the threat that it poses, like, it's all TBD, man. We just don't know which way this is going to break. Anyway, that's what I got.